Deidre Miller here. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, please remember to like, subscribe and share, and also hit that notification button. For today, we will be doing some CAPE Unit 1 past paper question and answer, and I'll be looking at sports psychology. So let's get into it. Alright? First question. State the name of the researcher who was credited with completing the first experiment in sports psychology. The answer is Norman Triplett, and that's 1 mark. Follow-up question. List 3 categories of sports persons who may benefit from the services of a sports psychologist and state 3 different reasons why they may need this service. So I'm looking at cricketers, volleyballers, and footballers. For cricketers, they could need this service to increase their motivation and also for setting effective goals. For volleyballer, improve focus and attention, and footballer, increasing positive thinking and confidence. Next question. Oh, and that question values 6 marks. Next question, this values 10 marks. Using 4 of the 5 stages in the group formation proposed by Tottenham 1965, describe how a national team may develop and state your expectations of the level of performance at each stage. The first one is forming, second storming, third norming, and fourth performing. So how would they develop? For forming, persons coming together to make a team at this stage, they will take this time to plan, collect information, and bond with each other. So this stage is getting to know each other stage. Next, storming. This is where the team address the task, suggesting ideas which can go good or bad. So it is essential that the team has a strong facilitative leadership in this phase. Next, norming. This phase deals with teammates working harmonious, practice agreeing on rules and values by which they will operate. And the last one is performing. Teams identified by high levels of independence, motivation, and knowledge. And remember, that is 10 marks. Next question, this one values 6 marks. Critical feminist theory has been used to explain some issues in sport. Briefly describe 2 of these issues and suggest 2 different solutions that may be used to resolve these issues. The first one is gender differences, and the second one is gender inequality. For gender differences, variances between males and females that are based on biological adaptation. Gender inequality, the unequal treatment of individuals based on their gender. So the solution for gender differences: attend sports games at all levels, treat men and women with the same respect. For gender inequality, avoid sexist language in communication and hire more female sport executives. Alright, next question. Mr. Viper, a senior coach, has been accused of abuse of power by his athletes. State 3 possible ways in which he may abuse his power over his athletes, and state 1 reason why this abuse of power may have been allowed by the athletes. Alright, so the first one is emotional abuse, and this is where the coach may belittle or reject or humiliate or threaten the athletes, making them feel worthless. Then you have verbal abuse, where the coach will talk to the athletes anyhow in public, shout at them. Then there is mental abuse, exposing the athletes, which can cause psychological trauma. Then we have physical abuse, any intentional act of causing injury or trauma. And the reason why the athletes may allow the coach to have abuse of power over them is that the athletes, they may be afraid of the coach, or they might be afraid of getting cut from the team. Right? Next question. That question values 6 marks. Next question, this one values 8 marks. Bert Bandura proposed a theory of motivation that emphasized the importance of self-efficacy. Describe 4 sources of self-efficacy for a young athlete participating in sport. Alright, so the first one that we'll be looking at is performance accomplishments. And this is where the athlete assesses him or herself based on the accomplishment and previous success or failure. Then we have vicarious experience. This is where the young athlete observe, self-model, which will help to improve their performance by learning from what they have observed. Then social persuasion, activities where the athlete is led through suggestion into believing that they can cope successfully with specific tasks, where coaches give evaluation feedback on his or her performance. And the last one is psychological and emotional states. Emotional reactions, example anxiety, can lead to negative judgments of one's ability to complete a task. And remember, that is 8 marks. And the final question, this one values 4 marks. Ricardo is identified as having motivational issues related to low self-efficacy that prevent him from performing at his best. Discuss 2 sources of self-efficacy that may be used to improve his motivation. And the 2 that I'm looking at, the first one is performance accomplishment. And this is the strongest contributor for Ricardo, which will generate confidence, and this will help him to be willing to do something even more difficult. And the second one is social persuasion. This is where suggestion can be given to Ricardo into believing that he can cope successfully with specific tasks by getting feedback about his performance. We have come to the end of this section. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Peace out.